CWP.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Bachelor Happy Hour. I'm Joe.
And I'm Serena.
And we are here with three lovely guests, Rachel, Katie, and Daisy. Welcome to Bachelor Happy Hour.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you.
How's everyone doing?
Good.
It's hard when there's hard when there's so many of us.
Three people on Zoom. Bear with us.
Daisy, last time we saw you was in the Bachelor Mansion.
Yes.
That was the first time I met you, actually.
I know. I felt like I had met you guys before, but we hadn't in real life.
Now, every time I see you, I'm going to think of Jimmy John's because I met you while you were eating Jimmy John's.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's on brand.
So hungry. And so I stopped on the way before we got to the limo that took us there. And I was scarfing down Jimmy John's.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, and the reason I remember it is because you called it out. You're like, sorry, I'm scarfing down Jimmy John's. I'm like, do your thing. Live your life. Live your life. Rachel, where are you? You're in Hawaii right now?
I just got back to LA last night, so back in the city life.
Nice.
You were in the Philippines?
Yes, I went to visit my family, surprise my grandma in the Philippines. So
Aw. How long were you there for?
we were there for 12 days, but it's 3 days of travel. So it's you lose because we have to take a 15-hour flight and then a 10-hour drive. So it's you kind of
a 10-hour
oh my
drive?
gosh.
because we're live the north part, so we just take a 10-hour drive.
Grandma didn't want to meet you halfway?
She's 96.
Okay, that's fair. She can chill. She's done enough.
She's like this, so
she's
she's
done
tired.
enough. Yeah, I don't blame her. I'd be tired
Katie,
too.
you're in Austin, yeah?
Yes,
What do you think about Austin?
I love it. I mean, the summers are really freaking hot, but I mean, from coming from Canada where it was so freaking cold and rainy some days, Austin is majority of the time blue, clear skies, nice and warm. So that's what I like.
So I'm planning my brother's getting married this year, and we're doing his bachelor party in Austin the first week of June. So how hot are we talking? Terrible?
You're gonna be hot, but it's good that you're not coming July or August. So I'll say
Okay.
that. You guys are definitely gonna want to rent out a barge, a party boat, and go on the water. I would be close to a body of water because I feel like men are notoriously more sweaters and hotter people.
Okay.
So I would go to body of
Just
water.
a bunch of
sweaty
sweaty
guys.
men. Send them to the
Zach is
water.
always complaining about sweat and all this, whereas sometimes I'm a little bit cooler. So I don't know. I just make sure that you have a body of water at some point during the trip.
No, that's a
Okay.
good idea. Yeah, you should definitely do a boat day.
Yeah,
That
that is
would be so fun.
a good idea. Okay, I'm actually going to need some restaurant recs too, but we can't talk about that now. So,
Okay.
This is a Bachelor podcast.
yeah, let's talk about The Bachelor real quick. Thoughts on Grant's season overall? I will start with who wants to go first.
Rachel, go.
I think
She's
I
like,
guess it's
I
different.
fucking hate it, actually.
no, I guess it's different from not watching the show to being on it and then to having a season after to be able to watch it all unfold. It's so weird. And I'm so happy it's not me anymore crying. Um, it's actually so scary, but um I think I mean I think it's going good thus far, right?
Question mark?
Is that what you think? I mean, is that what
Exclamation
you think? What's your opinion? What's your
Well, I mean, I
honest
know
opinion?
Grant is nice and he's great. And obviously I know the final three girls, so he definitely has a hard decision to make. But um it's just so different seeing it from the outside
point?
after just living it. So I think the season is great. The women seem nice. The drama seemed why? Why was it there? But yeah, I don't know. It's a hard question to ask.
Well,
Okay,
it's so
that's-
interesting because Rachel and Daisy, this is the first season of The Bachelor since you guys were on it, right?
Yeah.
So that's always a bit of a trip. But Katie, you're now 2 seasons removed. So how's it been watching it back for you?
I'm gonna be honest, I haven't really gotten into Grant's season. I've just been kind of watching, what's said on TikTok and Reddit a little bit. And obviously I have grown a friendship with Latia post filming with her.
Yeah.
So I also hear a little bit of her side on things, but I did watch this past like the fantasy suite episode, and I think he's in a bind. It's clear.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I think just based on that episode, he just seems lost and getting a little messy. So I'm very interested to see the next episode and who he chooses. But at the end of the day, I just hope he follows his heart and chooses the right girl.
Do you see any of Zach in him in this
No.
current stage? No? Okay.
No.
Okay.
Interesting. What do you feel like the biggest
No.
differences are?
No, because Zach wasn't saying he was in love with Gabby at this point. And if he did, that would be a different conversation that we were having. Yes, he got intimate with somebody, but I think I'm in love with you and having a physical, chemistry with somebody is different.
Yeah.
So yeah, I if I was another girl like who he doesn't choose, I think I would have a hard time dealing with that and definitely having conversations post.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Rachel thinks it's going good. Katie doesn't watch the show.
Wait.
Daisy,
Wait.
Daisy, what's your opinion so far on the season?
I have enjoyed watching it. I feel like he's doing a really good job, but I think now it is getting messy and I'm interested to see the finale and like what goes down. Because I don't know, I just feel like it might be a little bit messy on like his part, but we'll see how it ends up. But that's just what I'm like gauging from the last episode. Because like what Katie was saying, it is kind of like you can tell he's really confused, which the scenario is not normal. And I feel like there's no right or wrong way to do it, especially when you have all that pressure and everything going on. So I think going through it and like having been through it to like that stage, I like get how like sometimes like things can be said and like not said and things can happen and you like for me I try not to think too much into it, but I definitely like I'm very thankful for how Joey handled the whole situation. So I don't know, it's weird like what Rachel was saying, but I feel like it might be getting a little bit messy.
Katie, if you were the lead and you're down to your final three men, how do you think you would handle I love yous?
Or just fantasy suite week in general with all the emotions and the physical intimacy.
And Rachel and Daisy, prep your answers because I'm going to ask you
We're
guys.
coming for you.
Yeah. You're next.
I think it's so hard. I mean, obviously Zach didn't handle it great. I don't think I would, take away somebody's agency, basically what Ariel said, and like just say, hey, sex is off the table because some people need that. But for me, I genuinely would just like listen to my gut. For me, I haven't been like just my background. I'm not somebody who needs physical intimacy. I thrive off of emotional intimacy. So personally, I don't know if I would be physically intimate during fantasy suites. I think I would genuinely focus on gaining more clarity into who that person is, morals, values, need to make sure that aligns, and then the rest comes.
Yeah.
That's
Would
my
you declare it to them? Would you be like, this is off the table?
I don't know. Again, I would like trust my gut, but if I really, really thought this man was my everything, my future husband, then yeah, maybe I would, dive into a physical intimacy, do that. But like, it's so hard to say.
Yeah.
Like, again, I just trust my gut and just go from there. But I know for a fact I would not have sex with multiple people, period.
I also want to jump in here real quick. There's a lot of like Zach didn't do it well, but like out of like the 30-something bachelors, he's in a successful relationship. So like,
right, but I think Katie
and
takes
I know
some of the
you,
credit
Katie,
there.
you get credit there as well. But like, at least Zach was honest with himself. Like it may have been a little bit messy and he made some mistakes, but he was always like honest. And I think because of that, it's worked out.
And I will say with that is that Zach is somebody who is a man of his word, but some people need physical intimacy, so therefore his decision was somewhat swayed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 And
Yeah.
that's like just trying to figure this out. He's got three beautiful women in front of him, and if one woman needs that, then he's gonna be like, okay, well, like, let's figure this
Right.
out.
It's hard when you're trying to lead the show as an independent, but then also trying to act within a relationship and take your potential future partner's feelings into consideration at the same time as like leading the show and dating multiple women. But
Yeah.
Rachel, how would you have handled Fantasy Suite Week if you were the lead?
I wouldn't be intimate with any of them, and I wouldn't tell them because I would want them all to think they're going home. They would all just be like, "Oh my gosh, like bro." Like I can picture them talking to the producer, be like, "Dude, we didn't do anything. I'm going home." All three of them.
That's how I would be too.
That's
I would want everyone to think
amazing.
that
I
too.
want them. I want them all to think
You're
they're leaving.
scared. Dude,
Yeah,
imagine a
please.
life
I want them.
without me, motherfucker.
Yes, I want them all shaking the booth at the rose ceremony,
Being
and
like, it's me. She's not giving me a
yeah,
rose. She
I want
didn't
them all to
touch
think they're going
me.
home. So it's an equal game. So I've thought about this because my mom asked me it actually. She was like, "If it was you, what would you do?"
And if they were like, "Oh, are you just not being physically intimate with everyone?" You could be like, "I don't know, just
Yeah,
not
I just feel
tonight."
like I feel in the moment. I just feel like we're just not it right now. Make them scared. It's just scared.
That's so toxic, but I love
But Reach,
that.
they walked away. What if they're like, oh my God, this isn't me. I gotta go.
If they need sex,
And no, no, no. Like even if you were like,
Like if you scare
just
them too much, where they panic
like,
and
you
leave.
scare them too much and they go to the
oh,
producer, like,
I
clearly
just
not me.
call
I need
Kelsey
to
Anderson
go.
and put a note like we need to talk, and then just have a
Hi,
chat.
Kelsey Anderson. Daisy, what would you do?
I don't know. I'm getting anxiety.
He's like, no.
We're like, and
I
we're never making Rachel the Bachelorette. Okay, she's gonna put these men through hell.
Yeah. She's producing her own show.
That would be the most dramatic season.
Honestly,
you
I
and
just
your ITF
like
just being like, yeah, no, I'm just fucking with them.
I'm the
Actually,
only single girl in the group, so it's like at this point, make me bachelorette because
Can you actually like bring it back and do the Bachelorette and have it be Rachel?
you never know. You never know.
you never know.
All right, Daisy, what is your answer?
The best AI assistant isn't one that knows the whole world.
You can turn the spa day that you're a breath of fresh air for a in-depth info you need.
Cinderella's and Blue also provides financial advisors to help.
Okay, so for me, I think fantasy suites, I feel like it was really a time to like talk. And so I probably, if it was me in that scenario, I would use a lot just to like get to know them and like understand, because there's a lot of things like you see like the TV show, but there's a lot of things that like people don't know about you from the TV show. Like there's so much people didn't know about me. And so I feel like that time it's like really important to talk to that person, because after that does come an engagement. And I think when you get to that point and it's just you can open up kind of on a deeper level and really gauge if it's like, if that person is actually the person you want to be with forever. And then sometimes you can be like, oh, wait, like I didn't know this. I didn't know this. And like, all this stuff kind of comes up. So I think then it starts making more sense after that too. And I feel like people don't always understand that part about it.
Yeah, I feel like the audience is sometimes like, wait, they went into fantasy suites in one place and they came out in another. Like, what went down? And it's usually you just learn so much about the person and things are not aligned. But okay, let's get into your chats with the current contestants and let's go chronologically. So, Rachel, you had your sit down chat with Zoe. Walk us through all the things.
And like, were you nervous going into it? Like, how much weight did you put on yourself? Because you could have potentially screwed her over.
Oh, okay. I love
Oh
that.
my God. Didn't even think about that. Did you think about that?
Well, you could have said something that like really
Well, yeah,
like.
I mean, I guess we did see Leslie and Kelsey's chat.
Oh yeah, that
last
was one. Yeah,
season.
that was one.
It really swayed her towards panic attack.
No, I wasn't nervous at all. I was super excited when they asked me to go back and do that because I did love when Auntie Susan came to speak with me. It was a good like break from everything that was going on in that week while I was like, when you're just like waiting around and stuff. However, I do like that they asked us three to talk to these three because I felt like there's definitely a connection with like I've been where you're at. I know how you're feeling. And with Auntie Susan and I, it was more of like an auntie trying to like talk to me about like, how to be with a guy. So I wasn't nervous, but I definitely wanted to go in and just kind of say things that I wish I heard from one of my friends at that time is like that just to be sure of yourself and a good reminder that if it's not you, then you're going to be fine. And if it is you, then you're also going to be fine. Like, regardless of how it turns out, you are there for a reason. And I know when you get to fantasies, everyone's questioning themselves, like, why am I here? Should I even be here? And you're thinking about all the time or lack of time you had with the lead. So I kind of went in just to encourage her and kind of gauge where she's at mentally because I think we're in different spots because she didn't have a one-on-one. At least I had that. And so I know that Joy and I at the time had a connection, but I didn't know where her and Grant were going into fantasy. It was a very different area for the both of us. So I hope what I told her helped her. But she seemed like very relaxed. I think she needed to just vent to me and kind of get the jitters out herself. But that date she did have made me want to drink that whole bottle of champagne because why was it the bride and groom shoot? I didn't know that was a thing.
The bride and groom show?
I didn't know that was a thing.
That was a date on the season I was on.
Yeah.
But it was like a group date.
Oh, like mine.
Okay, so overall, how did you feel the conversation went with Zoe?
I think it went well overall. I think at first I felt like she had like a little bit of a wall up before speaking with me. And then of course my first thought was like, I wonder if she thinks she's gonna be in my position, as in she's gonna be top three because I'm speaking to her.
Right, like
Do you think she knew that though? Do you think she had watched?
She did watch because
Okay.
she did tell me, she was like, I'm really glad I'm talking to you because I do think we were in the same boat. And then I did tell her, I said, we are in the same boat, but we kind of aren't because you didn't have a one-on-one.
So you're actually in a worse position than
I was in.
So
No,
the
actually,
attitude,
you should brace
so
yourself
lose
for
the
this
fucking
week.
attitude because you're in a worse position than me.
We're not the same. I'm just kidding. No, but yeah, that was my fear. I was like, oh yes, we kind of are in the same position. And I did tell her, I was like, however, I had time. So, I don't know what level her nerves were at. But I think going into it, it was a little bit hard to kind of start the conversation. But once her wall was down, she was able to open up and vent about things and tell me how she's feeling. And she has a past, everyone has a past that kind of forces us to be a little bit withdrawn when it comes to relationships. So I was trying to just encourage her to go in and like just give it your all. If it's your last time with him or your first quote date with him, just, be open to the possibility that it also could be you because anything could happen and change with anybody at any second. We've all seen it happen. Um, so I think overall towards the end it went well once we were able to kind of get the ball rolling. But I will say at first it was a little bit hard just to kind of gauge where we're at because it's our first time meeting and you like don't really know how people are receptive of certain things. But yeah, I mean, she's super sweet, she's wonderful. So, it'll all work out for how it's supposed to.
Definitely.
When you left that conversation, what was your prediction on how Zoe's journey may unfold if you were a betting woman?
I mean, after leaving the conversation and once I got to know a little bit more of where they're at, I think I knew that it probably, may not be her. That's why I also tried to reassure her as much as possible because I think when you're in this whole world, all you know is the lead. So like and in that moment, you think your whole life is this one person. And then you also don't see the other girls. So you think it's just you and them. And then when you get sent home, you're like, wait, but we just had this great time together. Um, so I kind of had a gut feeling that it may not be her. And I think she might have felt that as well. Kind of when we were saying goodbye, she's like, yeah, you're right, I will be fine. So it's kind of like an understanding of where she was at. But I think she handled herself with such grace, on her exit.
Yeah. And I feel like
agree
you're a
with that.
very like sensitive, empathetic person. So you're probably a good person to have that conversation with her no matter which way it went to kind of just brace her for whatever happened.
I mean, I've been through the ring with relationships, so I was like, if it's not you, we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine, okay?
Next up, we see Daisy and Juliana. How did your chat go?
I love talking to her right when I like sat down. We jumped right into it and I felt like we really vibed with each other. I enjoyed talking to her because I felt like at that point we were in kind of the same position looking back at when I was in that spot, just how we were feeling. And I felt like she was either gonna like give it her all and like open up to him, or she was gonna like retract and not. Um, and so I think it was just a really good conversation, and I shared a lot like how like life like after the show, how I like, even though it wasn't like me, I'm so happy I did the experience, and I'm so happy that I gave it my all, because like that's the only way I found out that like it wasn't meant to be me and him. And I was like, either way for you it's going to be like great. And I'm like, it's just, but you're not going to know that unless you open up. And she was so nice and so sweet, and we just had a really good conversation and I really enjoyed it.
Do you think your conversation swayed her into opening up?
I think so. Not to be like it was
No,
me,
no, no.
No, I mean, that's
talk
the
yourself
goal.
up.
So, like, if you
Pump
did
yourself
it,
up.
success.
but I think it did really help her, because I think like when you're in that position, it is so, especially when you get to that point, you have like so many thoughts going through your head. And I remember at one point thinking like, oh my gosh, am I going crazy? But it's not. It's just a situation, and the situation's not normal. So you just kind of try to have to like put yourself like fully in it to really know if this is going to be like your person, and then you figure it out for yourself too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Kaity?
You had a chat with Latia. How did that go? I feel like I'm curious to know, actually, Daisy and Kaity, when you're meeting the matchups, are you in the back of your mind being like, I'm wondering if their trajectory is likely going to align with mine?
Or are they even, or are they thinking like, you know, Kaity, you were the chosen one. Do you think Latia's like, oh, now it's
This is a
probably
good
me?
sign.
Yeah.
Like that.
Maybe. I mean, we did talk about it, the three of us, afterwards.
Your business deploys AI pilots everywhere.
Card, you can turn them. Their sleek spam. Homes.com is
Big time plays. The beginning. Navy Federal also provides financial.
I feel like because obviously me, Katie, and Rachel were all there and we were hanging out the whole time. And so we talked to each other about like the conversations that went on. And I feel like my conversation with Juliana, I feel like it could have gone like one or two ways. It could have like, I could see it being them, but then I also could be like, I don't know if it's gonna be them, if she doesn't like open up and want this. So like my conversation with her, I could have seen it, or I could see it going either way.
Right.
And I will say, I don't like Latia didn't watch our season, so I don't think she knew where I was. I think maybe a producer told her, but yeah, I don't think it went to her head like, oh, Katie's with me. She's
Well,
the
I
final
guess
pick.
with them too, like for like Latia, like she might be like, okay, I'm with Kaity, but they might be bringing only girls that got engaged, or they might be bringing like a total mashup of people from the franchise, or like maybe like Zach's talking to one of the girls. Like they don't know that the lineup or the pair up is being done this way until they're watching it back.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not too sure what each girl knew going into a chat.
Yeah.
Right. We see the main focus of your conversation with Latia is surrounding the topic of fantasy suites, physical intimacy. She said something where she said, like, this is an honesty hour. Like, I don't want to spend my time kind of breaking down his time with other women. I would rather just like face that later on.
Yeah, and we really aligned on that because that was my mentality going into fantasy suites as well. I wanted to compartmentalize each relationship. Like, hey, I know this process, I know what I signed up for, but I want to focus in on our relationship and gaining clarity and a deeper connection with my man. So, and she kind of had the same outlook. She's like, I don't want to know either. And I think it was amazing that she wanted to set boundaries, and she vocalized that to Grant and said, hey, these are my boundaries. I want to focus more on emotional intimacy than physical intimacy. And that was exactly where I was at. So I felt like she gained a lot of clarity with me and having that conversation. And it was genuinely like talking to like a good friend. Like we genuinely just like vibed really well together. And yeah.
Yeah, your chat was really giving. Like when you call a girlfriend, you're like, hey, this is what I want to talk to him about tonight. Like, how do we phrase it? Like, how do I say this in the best way?
Yeah.
Well, you guys are like currently hanging out. So if Latia doesn't end up with Grant, like she met you.
If she doesn't find love with Grant, she fell in love
gained a
with
friend.
Kaity.
Love with me.
Yeah.
And hopefully some girls from her season too.
Yeah. No, she is good friends with girls from her season, but yeah, we like our season goes on so many girls trips. Pardon me. Our season goes on so many girls trips that I was like, you know what? Like, let's bring her in, see if she wants to come. And she vibes so well with our girl group too. So she's like now kind of meshed in with us, and we love her. She's awesome.
That's great. That's so fun. I'm sure she appreciates having the support of people that have also been through this journey, no matter how it ends for her.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we let you guys depart, let's talk a little bit about what you have going on. Daisy, start with you.
Yeah. How's Thor? How's the house?
Thor's great. The house is great. So yes, now I am in Las Vegas.
I forget that your boyfriend's name is Thor.
Yeah.
When she said House Thor, I'm like, what? Thor?
Oh, it's
the Marvel
funny.
character?
Especially if we're at the airport and people like our IDs, they're like, what? Is that your
Daisy and Thor?
Like, yeah, that's our name.
You both have like movie character names.
Literally. So funny. But yeah, everything's going good. I'm very happy. I like living here so far. My family came last weekend. Last weekend to visit, which was really fun. And then, yeah, I'm just doing a bunch of random stuff. I'm doing a lot of work with Cochlear America, the cochlear implant brand I have. So, in like the next few months, that's basically taking up like a ton of my time and a lot of travel. So I'm really excited about all of that. That's probably like my project that I'm most excited about. So
how's the like design decorating? Because it's like a new home.
Yeah.
Like he didn't live there before, right? Like you're moving in together.
Yeah.
It's a mansion.
A new mansion.
You're like echoing all through her house when she like makes a video.
No, I will say I saw one of your videos popped up and it was you in your bathroom and it was just the mirrors like front to back forever. And
the mirrors were
the
like
high
ceiling out
ceiling.
for a second because people were like commenting on my TikTok that it's like a portal, but then I was like, whatever. But then we broke a wine glass on accident. People said that's good luck. And my parents said this little like, I don't know, these two like frog things that apparently are good luck. So I think we're good on that end now.
You're good. Who needs you don't need to decorate. You've got your portals and you're good luck.
Yes, yeah. But yeah, I need to get some stuff because it's pretty empty.
It's gotta feel overwhelming.
Yeah, it is. And it's like I still have so many boxes and stuff. So I'm trying to do it just like we're doing it like little by little.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been fun. It's fun to like do it together.
That's good.
Nice.
Rachel, how's dating life going?
Yeah, and are you going on Paradise?
Dating is I'm not really dating right now. But I am open to Paradise.
Okay.
So
You're single.
I'm single. I'm just a single dog mom. Just looking for a dog
I thought
dad.
you were gonna say I'm just a single dog. Like what?
Imagine if I did. My dog's tag literally says looking for a dog dad. And that's like how, but every guy I meet is gay. Like they'll be walking their dog and they're like, oh my God, your dog's so cute. And I'm like, oh my God.
You're like from afar, you're like, ooh, he's hot, and then he gets up close and you're like,
And he
man,
goes,
he's
like,
gay.
oh my God, we're just friends. But yeah, I mean, I'd love to be on Paradise, so we'll see. I think the beach is like my home, honestly, so I think it'd be good for me.
Yeah, because you would have been like you would have gone too far on Joey's season to have made it for Paradise last year. Oh wait, no, they took last year
No,
off.
they didn't have, yeah, I was like, they
Sorry.
didn't have people. Yeah.
Is there any guy that you would be interested in Paradise.
Daisy and I have talked about this. Daisy has been my girl because I told her, I was like, should I do Paradise? She's like, yes, I think you should. So I want her to answer that question.
Okay, yeah, Daisy, who do you think Rachel should flirt with in Paradise?
Okay. Well, when Paradise became like talks that it was happening again, I would like pull up, like I went through, I think like every season of The Bachelor and Bachelorette and was like pulling guys and sending them and being like, okay, what about this guy? What about this
I
guy?
love this. She's your millionaire matchmaker.
Yeah.
Then, okay, now I'm trying to think. I don't want to put anything out there. I think I need to let
Well,
it.
who do you think, what kind of guy do you think Rachel would be a good fit
I
with
think
then?
she needs someone that's like very like active and likes to do a lot of fun things and doesn't like to just like party and go to the clubs because she likes to do like fun things that aren't like just drinking and doing all that stuff. So I think it's important that
Like someone adventurous.
yeah, and someone that's really like I feel like family and like friend oriented, I think is really important because Rachel has like she's just such like a loving person. And also they have to be funny because she's one of the funniest people I know. So that'd just be boring if they weren't.
Okay, so funny, active, adventurous, not gay.
Yes.
I'm-
Okay, would you be willing to throw a name out there? And I won't ask again. If you say no, it's no.
Okay.
Or do you have names in mind? And you're just scared to say them?
Yes. Okay. So I think, well, yes, I think so.
Wait, who, Days? Who?
But okay, well, I think if this guy went, I think they would hit it off, but he's been on a lot of the shows, so I don't know
Oh
if
my
he'll
God, who is it?
Blake.
Blake Moynes?
Yeah.
Oh.
I could see
Okay,
that.
well, yeah, based on your like description,
Yeah.
he would fit that.
I could see that. If he's not like,
Is he actually going on again?
who knows? I mean, he's probably in Africa right now, like
Swimming with
talking to
sharks.
elephants.
Sharks.
And like I can picture Rachel going and doing that. I can picture them
I
traveling.
like that.
Yeah.
And you know what? Katie and I are always advocates for the Canadians. So
Okay, last up, Katie. What's new with you? You done eating lunch?
Yep. I've got it. I haven't ate much today, okay?
Hey, listen, I don't have a problem with it.
I need a banana for brain power. But no, life is great. Zach and I have decided we're gonna get married this year. No, I'm not telling you guys a date.
that's so exciting.
But yeah, we're so excited. And then we're thinking like, not that you're asking, but we're thinking like a year and a half from now, having little babies. Because
Oh,
I'm
wow.
maternal and I can't wait to have kids. But I'm just loving this stage in our relationship and where we are in life that I'm just, yeah, soaking it all in. And we're traveling so much. And I just love that man to death.
Oh my God, I have chills.
Do
This is
you
so exciting.
do you obviously you don't have to tell us. Do you have a location in mind yet, or you don't know yet?
We're literally just going to go to City Hall and just
Oh,
I
nice.
actually remember, I thought you might do that because I remember you were like, I don't know if a whole wedding is for me. It's expensive. It's a lot.
it's so expensive. And like no money's coming from our families. Like this is genuinely coming out of Zach and I's pockets, which is fine. And it's like we were quoted like 70 to 80K for a wedding. And I'm like, you know what, baby?
And
Let's
it's never that. It's
Yeah.
always
It's always
more.
more.
Yeah, I'm like, let's sign the damn paper and then we'll have a huge like party later down the road. And he honestly lit up when I said that because it wasn't his idea. He's like, if you want the big wedding, we'll do it. If you want
Yeah.
a small, like whatever you want. And I was like, this is what I want. And he's like, hell yeah.
That'll be
Nice.
perfect and amazing. Do you
Yeah.
guys think you're going to be in Austin for a little while longer? I know that was kind of a conversation for a while too.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna actually buy a house by the end of the year together. We were thinking North Carolina, but when that tornado came through, it kind of gave me the heebie-jeebies a little bit. So we kind of took a step back from that, and I think we're gonna buy in Austin and then see where life takes us. We're not like married to Austin for the rest of our lives, but
Why were you thinking North Carolina? Like, how is that even a thought?
mountains, water.
I feel like every time we
Well-
talk to you, you're like, I want to live here because there's mountains and water. And then the next time you're like, we're staying in Austin.
I know I'm all over the place, but I just I was thinking, us growing a family, I'd be closer to home in
Yeah.
Canada. It's more of an easier drive for my family. So,
I
I'm
get
all over
that.
the place. And that's okay to be all over the place. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Moving, there's never a deadline. You can always pick up and move.
Yeah. And off topic, but you were thinking about moving back to Canada, no? Or you want to eventually?
We are actually, oh my God, exclusive announcement. We are looking right now at apartments in Toronto to split with my parents as a visit place. We're not going to be living there, but my dad works in downtown Toronto but lives in the suburbs. Our highways are under crazy construction for the next 5 years, and he was like, I think I want to get a place in the city to spend 2-3 nights a week so I can get to the office. And it's always been a long-term goal of ours to have a place in Toronto that we can just be able to spend more time, visit more frequently, especially if that's not going to be our home base. So yeah, we're actually we've looked twice. We're going to look again this weekend when we're in town at some places. I'm kind of leaving it up to my parents. I mean, they'll be spending more time there than us, but we're just going to get a 1-bed, 1-bath in the city.
And then we're thinking full-time Vegas.
We're not thinking full-time Vegas, no.
Oh.
Joe's thinking full-time on the Strip at the Encore. is
No,
what
no,
he's
not the
thinking.
strip, not the strip,
Oh.
not the strip. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for taking the time and chatting with us. This was fun. I enjoyed it. I don't know if you guys did, but I did.
Will we be seeing you guys at AFR next week?
Yes.
I will not be there. I have a bachelorette party this weekend in Cabo. So
Good excuse. It is a good excuse.
I'll
to
be
miss.
there.
You guys going to be there?
We are not going. But we are excited to watch Kaity and Rachel on our screens again. Daisy, we will miss you and see how Grant's journey unfolds.
Thank you, and make sure you tune in and download and subscribe and listen to Bachelor Happy Hour.
Thanks for listening. Bye. At David